The colonial history of Cote d'Ivoire and its struggle for independence. Before the cocoa plantations and colonial railways, Cote d'Ivoire was a land of kingdoms, traders, and farmers. But colonialism would tear through the fabric of this West African society, dividing classes, suppressing voices, and igniting a struggle for freedom led not only by elites but by women, youth, and ordinary working people. Before the French arrived, Cote d'Ivoire was home to powerful states like the Kong Empire and the Baoulé Kingdom. Society was organized around lineage, land, and trade. Farmers, artisans, and warriors each had their place. While there were ruling classes, power often depended on community ties and spiritual authority, not European-style dominance. In 1893, France officially declared Côte d'Ivoire a colony. What followed was a land seizure, forced labor, and the destruction of traditional governance. The French imposed a brutal system where local chiefs were turned into colonial enforcers. The rural poor, especially farmers and laborers, were exploited to build roads, railways, and cash crop plantations. Colonial rule deepened social inequality. A small African elite, often educated in French schools, emerged. They became intermediaries between the colonizers and the masses. Meanwhile, ordinary Ivorian peasants, market women, and young laborers carried the burden of economic exploitation. Their taxes funded colonial rule. Their labor built the colony. Their voices were ignored. Resistance was not just the work of politicians, it was in everyday acts. Farmers refusing quotas, women protesting market taxes, and youth spreading anti-colonial ideas. In 1949, women in Grand Bassam, armed with nothing but courage, marched on the colonial prison to demand the release of political prisoners. They were beaten and humiliated, but their defiance shook the foundations of colonial rule. By the 1940s and 50s, educated elites began organizing political parties. Félix Houphouët-Boigny, a former medical assistant and planter, formed the RDA, Rassemblement Démocratique Africain. But the RDA's strength came from its mass base: cocoa farmers resisting French monopolies, market women demanding fair trade, and students calling for self-rule. Rural peasants who once toiled under forced labor now formed cooperatives and spread anti-colonial ideas. Young people circulated pamphlets, defied curfews, and organized strikes. Ordinary people became the fuel behind the nationalist fire. Under pressure, France conceded. Côte d'Ivoire gained independence in 1960, with Houphouët-Boigny as its first president. But independence came with compromises. The elite who led the transition often maintained close ties with France, leaving behind many of the class inequalities colonialism had created. Cote d'Ivoire's independence wasn't won in boardrooms alone. It was fought for in cocoa fields, in village squares, and in prison cells. Women, youths, and workers, often unnamed and uncelebrated, were the beating heart of the struggle. Their legacy is a reminder: freedom is never given, it is taken together. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Cote d'Ivoire's untold history. Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we continue to explore the stories that shaped Africa's past and future. Together, let's celebrate the legacies that define us. Until next time, stay critical and keep questioning.